Good morning, everyone. Hi, good morning. Can I just make sure that you can all that my audio is loud and clear while we're waiting for Duncan to come on the call so he can host the meeting. Oh, there's
Luca. Morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Archie. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, everything's fine.
Fantastic. Good morning, Duncan. Are you with us now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, fantastic! I will make you host.
Wonderful. Tell me, where are you live streaming the YouTube? Just to YouTube, or have you posted it somewhere?
Okay. Let me just type it here. Type it on the box, and I am streaming it on the Crypto Investor Club.
That's what I was asking. That's fine. If you're already streaming it there, then that's fine.
Yeah, I just posted it now on the Crypto Investor Club. Okay, so we're ready to go. Guys,
if you're on this call, you don't need that link. That was for me. Obviously, it's just the YouTube link to the call that we're already on, so no need to start clicking that and stuff. Before we get going, let me put my camera on. Very nice to see you all here this afternoon for me, this morning maybe for you, some of you. We've got a few things that we need to get through today. Obviously, we're going to get through the week's crypto news, and for me at least, it's been quite a positive week. But there's a couple of things that we want to tell you about. We are going to be launching Luca's competition. First of all, before we launch the competition, and after we've got through the news and whatnot, we want to talk about what it's all about, what the micro school's all about, and how you can win a free place on it. So that's kind of important objective today, is to get that information across to you all. And because of that, I'd like to start the ball rolling straight away. I would like you, please, if you would, all of our GU partner calls now, we have introduced Zoom registration. However, we didn't do it for this call because we wanted to make sure everybody got on the call and we didn't want to change the Zoom link. So could you please put into the chat, if you're on this call, your name and email address. Now that will ensure that your entry into the competition to get a free place on the micro school is valid, but also it will enable me to know who's on this call and make sure that you don't miss out on any news or offers or promotions going forward. So please, name and email address into the chat. And then there's one other thing that Luca's looking a bit surprised because I'm not sure he was expecting all this. I will shut up in a moment. There's one other thing that I'd like you to tell me. And this again is very, very important. So I would like to know on this call, if you can tell me if you already are invested in cryptos and you have a wallet or an exchange address or some means to buy and sell cryptos, because I'm really interested to find out what level we're at now after quite a few weeks and going into the micro school. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, it's not better to be answering yes or no, but if you are answering yes, please tell us where you are, what you're doing. So for example, for me, I would say, yes, I've got about $10,000 in, and at the moment it's all on Binance. And that's my answer to the question. Now, you might think that I'm just sort of data harvesting here, but it isn't just that. I want to make sure that this club of ours and of Luca's supplies you and provides you with exactly what you want and need. And I think it's time that we get a bit of information about where people are up to. So please, I'll finish now. Email address and name, and tell us, are you invested? And if so, you know, how and where? And if you're happy like me to give you an idea of the size of your portfolio, I'm $10,000-ish, then please drop it in there. Thank you, and over to Luca.
Oh, thank you very much, Duncan. Yeah, you're right. I wasn't expecting all this, but it's it is nice actually to know what level people are at, so I can actually focus my presentation accordingly. So no, thank you. That's very welcome. Okay, so has been quite a busy week in the world of crypto, and you might be aware, you might have heard things in the news, especially coming from the US. I think we had possibly the highest audience ever recorded for a Senate committee hearing that has ever been seen. And this is because there was in the Senate in the US, we had the infrastructure bill that was going through, and at the last minute, kind of like they had, excuse me, there was something added for the crypto industry as well, that would have a sorry, kind of like a big effect on the whole crypto market in the US. Now, you might think, what has crypto got to do with the infrastructure bill? That's mainly got to do with kind of like road, bridges, infrastructure, big infrastructure projects in general. And the answer is absolutely nothing. Okay, and the reason that this the crypto reference in the bill is there is simply because they want to get some money from it, because it's going to cost a lot of money, and they want to get quite a few billion from the crypto industry to finance it. Okay, but the way they have gone about it is actually raised a lot of eyebrows in the whole crypto world, and in a way it has moved a lot of different crypto players to act as a one voice. So it's one thing that's happened out of this bill that is very damaging for crypto, is to get basically everybody in crypto fighting against it. What they have done, so that for those of you that haven't heard, is that they basically qualify anybody that's got anything to do in getting people in and out of crypto, qualified as a broker. Okay, and that has got really high requirement in terms of reporting, in terms of qualifications that they have to do, and also the description of who would qualify as a broker is very vague, so that pretty much includes everybody, anybody that's got anything to do in crypto. So it's not just the crypto exchanges, and that could make sense, but we are talking about proof of work network validators. It's anybody that's got anything to do in crypto. So the exchanges would be classified as brokers. The miners would be classified as brokers. And the problem is that what some of the requirements of the broker classifications are not possible to comply with from a crypto point of view. So they are asking the industry to do things that are impossible to do. Now, what would that mean if, at the moment is this vote because of politics, although there was a big consensus in the Senate to mitigate the effect of this wording, because of politics and because there are a lot more interests apart from crypto that were included in this bill, the bill went ahead untouched. Okay, because basically it was forbidden to present any amendments to the bill, and it was only voted basically on a black and white yes or no, and it went ahead. Now it's with the House of Representatives, and we'll see what happens there. What did happen though in the week before the vote took place is that everybody in crypto actually mobilitated their audience. Okay, so they asked everybody to get in touch with the senators, with the representatives in the House of Representatives, by letter, by email, by phone calls, and absolutely everybody in politics got inundated with calls from the crypto community. And what they realized is that they have now, that there are about 50 million users in the US alone, or the crypto industry, that are not happy with their senators and their representatives, going ahead with this bill. So obviously, for a politician, they couldn't make such a large portion of the voting, pool unhappy. And so there are many senators that are already taking notice. Some of them are still like maybe too old to understand what's going on, like the one that in the end opposed a pretty much unanimous consensus to be reached in the Senate, because he's an 87-year-old senator that wanted to, attach to the unanimous consensus to change the wording in crypto. They wanted to attach a provision to spend an extra $50 billion in defense, and that was voted down. So everything else was voted down as a result. So if this was to go through, it would take effect first of all in 2023. Okay, so what we have seen, while this could be very damaging, at the same time we've seen the price of Bitcoin and all the other crypto going up, even when this was voted in. Okay, so what does it mean? Does it mean that the crypto community doesn't take any notice of that? I mean, you could say that up to a certain point, but first of all, this would take effect in 2023, and what crypto would look like in 2023 will be very different from what it looks like right now. Okay, and I think by the time we get there will be such a change. It will be such so commonplace to use crypto that this legislation will either be altered completely by recourse to the Supreme Court, or there will be other changes made to it because simply of the groundswell of public opinion. Okay, so but the other thing, if there was to go ahead and then continue as in its current form up to 2023, then we will see a drain of brains leaving the US and relocating in other countries, because even the US cannot stop the I'll say the progress and the innovation that is being provided by blockchain. They can slow down the adoption rate, but they cannot stop it, simply because this is a technology that is improving productivity, and it's proving the bottom line on people's pockets. And it is something that is moving from the bottom, from the green roots up, and not the other way around. So that's a one thing that it's important to talk about, because obviously the US is a big market, and generally what they do then gets followed by other countries. So something like this could affect many different sectors of the crypto industry. In first, it could affect the miners, because when we're talking about miners, there are billions and billions of dollars having been invested into these mining farms. That generally they are huge warehouses with hundreds of thousands of computers in them. And they're mining Bitcoin 24 hours a day. Now, they're already being repositioned from China to the US and other countries when China banned crypto mining. And now they could, again, be forced to be redeployed somewhere else in the world, in countries that are more favorable to crypto. But it's not just that, but many small businesses, especially people like, we had Joseph last week that was talking about starting a Cardano staking pool. Now, if he was in the US, according to this legislation, he couldn't operate. And so many people that have made a business from the decentralized economy will need to make a choice of what to do, either to relocate somewhere else in the world, or stop doing what they're doing. Okay, so that could have a big effect in terms of making the US uncompetitive in the cryptocurrency world. And if you're thinking about that, this could represent a larger and larger portion of our economy going forward. It would have a big effect of the competitiveness of the US. Full stop. Okay, so it is always it's kind of like it's big news, but the impact on the whole US economy hasn't really been factored in at the moment. I think it is something that the public opinion will get through to their representatives. And even to the point that many crypto actors, billionaires that are involved in crypto, are already talking about having a list prepared of all the representatives and all the senators that are against crypto, and actually fielding candidates against them, funding them to succeed against them. So this is not a small, a little piece of news. It's absolutely massive. But if one thing that has been achieved so far is getting crypto to be noticed and to be speaking with one voice, because this will damage everybody, not just one blockchain or one system against another. It would damage everybody. Okay, so it is very, very important to see what happens in the US in the next few weeks and beyond in the next few months, and see if this legislation goes forward, how they will try then to change it. Although it's a lot more difficult to change it once it's been approved than it is to change it before it gets approved. So first of all, we concentrate on the House of Representatives and see what happens there. If there are amendments that will be presented, and then we'll see what happens when this infrastructure bill goes through, and how the crypto part of it survives or not. Okay, that's number one. Number two, let me just share my screen. Okay, I wanted to concentrate on this. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Concentrate on this chart. Can you all see it? Okay, maybe now it's a little bit bigger. This is the first time that Ethereum has actually beaten Bitcoin in this metric. And you're talking about a percentage of trading volume as percentage of total. And if you see here in second quarter of 2020, it was mainly Bitcoin, 57%, Ethereum, 15%, and other crypto assets, 28%. Okay, and then going forward, as it was the wave of crypto doing very well went up, you can see that the percentage of trades in both Ethereum and the other altcoins has actually increased to the point where in the second quarter of 2021, we had more trading on Ethereum than on Bitcoin. And even more significant, we can see that 50% of the trading volume was in other altcoins apart from Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, first of all, what does that tell us? In a sense, first of all, is that when we consider different blockchains, okay, first of all, we look at the number of users. Okay, so obviously users make transactions, so more users translates generating more transactions. Okay, but the second point is that what happened, how are the users talking to each other, and how are they dealing with each other? So in a network like Ethereum, as smart contracts as opposed to Bitcoin, there are a lot more use cases to the use of their token than there is to the use of Bitcoin. So not only how many users has Ethereum got compared to Bitcoin, but how many things these users are doing once they are on the blockchain. And this is where we're seeing that Ethereum, and the same for other blockchains apart from Bitcoin, that are already in the smart contract, already have smart contract capability. There are a lot more transactions going on because people are doing things on these blockchains once they have bought the currency that they need to operate on. So if you are on Ethereum and you are, I don't know, you are dealing with decentralized finance or with NFTs, and we're doing something, obviously you need Ethereum to spend Ethereum to interact on that platform. Or I don't know, the same if you are on another network like Solana or EOS or Tron, is the same thing. You have to buy the token for the infrastructure network before you can interact with the apps that are built on the network. So this is the big difference: number of users, but more importantly, number of transactions. And the transactions are based on the really the level 2 apps that are on particular networks. I mean, Bitcoin is mainly a layer one, and almost everything is happening on a layer one blockchain. Ethereum instead, a lot of the activity in Ethereum comes from the apps that have been built on it. Okay, and the same thing you will see once Cardano releases, for example, a smart contract. We will see a lot of the interactions coming from the applications built on different platforms. Okay, what happened in 2021? We already discussed this before. At the beginning of the year, we had an influx of new users, and a lot of these new users obviously wanted to interact, especially with Ethereum and Bitcoin. And what really that caused a problem of there not being enough capacity on the blockchain to deal with all these new users. So what we see now, like with the new projects that are coming to market, like they're delivering their potential to the market, they are now allowing more users to interact with the blockchains. Like we've seen, because Ethereum had problems and they had very high fees because the network was congested. We've seen the rise of, for example, of Binance, the rise of Solana, because they could do transactions, very fast at a fraction of the cost of Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now we see, the third level of blockchain projects like Cardano and Polkadot, for example, delivering, and they promised capability to the market right now in this quarter. So we're seeing the infrastructure readying for the next level of user that are coming on the market. I mean, just think about one thing, okay? We are now at the moment about 200 million users in cryptos and blockchain. If and when, and it is if rather than, it is a when rather than if, Apple, Facebook, Amazon introduce cryptos into their business, we will see the number of users almost overnight going from 200, 300, 400 million to 2 billion plus. Okay, but it's all well and good to say that, but to have that number of users on the blockchain, you need to have the infrastructure to deal with it. Okay, so this is where we are going. We're seeing all these new projects because what the projects are doing, they're not really just presenting something to the market now to benefit from the traffic now, but they are preparing for what the traffic will be in 2, 3, 5 years time. Okay, and this is the what we're seeing with many projects. At the moment they are deploying to their network new features on the network onto the so that they are available to everybody. Okay. What are we doing for time? Okay, I'll just talk about another couple of things. That I like. Where is that? Okay, Cardano. That I like Cardano. We speak about it almost weekly, and we're talking. You must have, if you follow blockchain and crypto prices, you must have noticed that the price of Cardano has gone up quite sharply in this past week. But today there is going to be a big announcement because the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, is going to announce the exact date of the release of the smart contract capability. Okay, and he's supposed to be, from what he was saying before, right either at the end of August or beginning of September. But today they will announce the exact date when everybody will be able to use smart contracts on Cardano. At the moment, they're testing this on the testnet, which is kind of at the back end. All the developers are working just to check that everything is working properly, and they're about to release this very, very soon. This is going to be another really, really big change. This, when we're talking about here investing, okay, guys. I mean, I don't do I don't give it investment advice, but I mean, you would have had to be deaf and blind not to hear about Cardano since we started doing this. Okay, and that's why sometimes, you know, you keep asking me, what about this coin? What about that coin, which is the new coin that can make you a millionaire? Now you got these projects that are right in front of your nose, and every one of you could have invested in this when Cardano was 10, 15 cents. Okay, and now it's almost $2. So I'm just mention this because I want to say there is no need for you to go and look for the next shiny things when there are some very big tried and tested projects that are already available for you to invest in. Okay, the last thing, which I think will tie in quite nicely with what we're doing about the crypto micro school. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. I'm thinking, what the hell is this chart? Okay, this is a chart of the price of Bitcoin with the age of the coin being spent per day. Okay, so for example, we'll have a look here. Where are we looking? 2012. If you kind of look at the top, the yellow, the 1 hour is 51% of Bitcoin were basically being day traded. 51% were bought and sold within an hour. Another 30% that were bought and sold within 1 day. So you can see that was generally a speculative market at that time. And you can see as you go down, the older coin, they weren't being traded at all. So that means that at this stage in particular, when you are looking at this particular day, which is September 2012, you can say that it was mainly a young market because all the coins, almost without exception, that were being traded were younger than 3 months. Okay, and as we go on, you can see the darker colors. The darker colors represents the older coins, and the lighter colors the younger coins. Okay, so what we have seen in the last few months, and from this. So just I wanted to show you this, how I get to this, to saying what I'm going to be saying in a second. Okay, this represents Bitcoin price in US dollars from the beginning of the year. Okay, so we see that there has been from the kind of like end of January towards the mid-April, a big increase in price from, we just move this out of the way. Okay, we were from 28,000 to about 65. Okay, so more than doubling in value, you know, in the range of, you know, just over 2 months. And now, if we, the one thing that we can see, you know, using that metric that I just showed you, we can see what happened to the coins that were purchased during this time. Okay, these are the people that bought, let's say, from here, from the beginning of the year, up to, let's say, up to the top. Okay, and these, what we can tell is that most of the coins, most of the young coins, okay, they are less than 6 months old. They're now being spent, so they're being sold. And this is what I wanted to make you to understand why it is important to have somebody that knows what's going on in the market and a mentor that can help you doing trading. Because where do you think these coins are being sold? Can anybody guess by looking at the chart? So
they've been sold to new investors.
No, when at what price?
When they're quite high.
Okay, no, the reason when they're being sold, they have been sold around. Can I do that? No. This is when they've been sold. Okay, you know what that means? That means that, oh, sorry. That means that they have been sold at a, why did I change? I don't know why I went, go back to my Bitcoin chart. Okay, it means that most of the people that got involved in Bitcoin from the start of the year have sold at a loss. Okay, and this is with Bitcoin doubling in price and going back to what it was. But we're not talking about any catastrophic drop in price, we are simply saying this Bitcoin doubled and went back down to where it was at the beginning of the move. And during this process, most people lost money. And we can tell this because we can see the age of the coin that have been sold, and we can see who's been buying this coin, who's been selling this coin. The addresses they have bought these coins, the young coins, are addresses with old coins in the address. So we're talking about long-term holders have accumulated more Bitcoin at this price, and young holders that bought Bitcoin around here, maybe not here at the end, but on the way up, have sold on the way down. And this is the way it works normally in trading, kind of like the informed get the money out of uninformed. Okay, and this is why is it important? Why am I telling you this? Is that because we can look at the same assets at the same chart. Some people will make money on it. Some people will lose money on it. Okay, it's just the way it goes. Okay, and the only difference is that where on the stock market you can guess at this, in the Bitcoin world, you can actually see it. It's there for everybody to see. Okay, so what is the difference by having somebody that helps you in your investment and somebody that doing things on your own? Could be the difference between actually being able to increase your holdings, increase your asset, or actually losing money on it. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to show you is that I don't normally use indicators, but in this case I wanted to show you this one. Okay, you can see this indicator on the bottom here. Is showing at the moment a buy signal. It's not so much, I don't too much looking at the buy signal itself as a moment when to buy, because this given a buy signal when Bitcoin is already gone from 30 to about 44. But this is a buy signal, an indicator that it flashes very, very rarely. In the whole life of Bitcoin is flashed about 11 times, okay? And in 10 of these times, 10 out of 11 has been at the beginning of important moves in Bitcoin price. This is the last time it flashed, which was December 20. And we can see when Bitcoin was at 19,000. So at the beginning of this move, it flashed a buy signal. And if we look back, there are other times before important moves, it flashed in the same way. The only time where it wasn't correct, it was in March 2020. But we all know what happened with COVID, and it was kind of like a unique time in the sense that every single market got trashed. Every asset went down in price during that time, and crypto wasn't any different. So in that time, it gave a wrong signal. But any other time, it not only gave a buy signal, but what is important, what generally indicates, it indicates that a floor has been reached. So when we look at this price, about 28.8, about 29,000, it generally indicates that there is a bottom for Bitcoin that will not be breached again. Okay, now this is just an indicator. Indicators are lagging indicators, and they are there because sometimes they're right and help us making decisions, but sometimes they are wrong. So at the moment, both plays are still in play. Let's say we could carry on from here and reach new highs. We could come down and go to the 2017 highs again. Okay, I would say at the moment, as everything that technical analysis gives you is a better guess. Okay, so generally when you make investment decisions like this, you are judging kind of like percentages. What probability is of the price going up? What's the probability of the price going down? I mean, according to my analysis, I would say there is pretty much a 75% chance of the market keeps going up and 25% chances that we crash all the way down. Okay, so we're still not decided. What we've been talking about for the past few what we're talking about for the past few weeks, we're going back here, it's showing you, this is the range that we've been in between 30 and mainly that we've broken recently, that we were between 30 and 40 for a long time. And we are approaching, as I was telling you before, this area here between 48 and 51,000. And this is the area where we might see a turning back, either temporarily or permanently. And this is where the battle will be fought. We haven't got to that yet. We at the moment, as you can see, we touched this yellow line, which is the origin, the end of the origin of this move. But if you really have to look at the, where this big move started, it started up here. This is the first down movement. So we're having a look at the first, let's say, amount of noise when it reached the bottom and it bounced and then it went down again. Okay, so this is the area that I want to see, and it depends on how we will approach this area. If we go through it, we might go through it like butter. We might spend some time in there and then go down. We may touch it like what is done here, for example. You can see that it's literally just touched this yellow line at 40, what was that? 46.7. And we went down 43.7. So, okay, 3,000, which is significant. From a day trading point of view, this is a big movement. Okay, so we are talking already about 8% plus movement, and now we are approaching that level again. So I expect this area to be tested first, and depending on how the price behaves in that area will pretty much reflect on what we're doing in the medium term. Okay, so we could, if we go through this, then I expect the price to again reach the previous high and move higher. If this area rejects this, then we might go below 40 again and spend some times again in the 30 to 40,000 range. Okay, so I just wanted to discuss this because it's important to have somebody that can tell you what's going on in the market. And I can see, Fernando, you're saying it's being sold at the top. That is, unfortunately, I wish it was true, but it's not. Okay, I think I've spoken enough.
Yeah, so anybody got any questions?
Okay.
You can put your hands up if you prefer to discuss directly with Luca, or you can drop them in the chat. Obviously, I've got a question. Please, can we find out about this micro school? Because it's starting in less than 10 days and you haven't said anything about it yet. So there's that I'd like to know. And also, how can we win a free place on it, Luca? If you want to mention it, or would you like me to? What I'm going to quickly do is, while you're talking about the micro school, let's get it out of the way because there aren't any questions in the chat. We've still got 20 minutes left. So guys, if you have got any questions to put to Luca, then get them in the chat. But I suspect that the questions might be about the micro school. So shall we introduce that? I'm going to share my screen, Luca, just to show people what it looks like and what the main topics are. And maybe you could just give us a minute or two about the content of the micro school and how, let me just say this, we've got a real mix here in this room particularly. And obviously the micro school's available to everybody, not just guys in this room. But we've got a real mix because I think generally most people have dipped their toe into the water now. Most people are probably somewhere between newbie and kind of my level in terms of level of investment, and most people seem to be like me, operating on an exchange or whatnot. So there is a question from Stan. Do you want to do that first, or do you want to do micro school first?
Yeah, go on. I mean, it's up to you, whatever.
Cool. What do you think Apple could or will do? They did not invent the smartphone. If crypto today looks like Ericsson, Nokia, BlackBerry, fair point. Could Apple take over something and do what they did with crypto that they did when the iPhone was released? Interesting.
Apple are not inventors. They make things easier. So they improve the user interface. So what it could do is what they did with the iPod and what then they did with the iPhone. So making it accessible to everybody and create a new use case for it that wasn't there before. So you could definitely, I mean, the moment they just need to have to add crypto as a payment on the system, and how many billion of users Apple has. So they will make immediately would take that technology barrier to entry that there is in crypto and remove it completely. So what Apple might do is have a simple interface where you can just say click transfer to your Apple wallet, buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum or something like this, and you'll be able to do it with a touch of your finger, trusting that they will look after your coins and everything is safe. You don't need to worry about anything else. That's the difference that Apple could make. And also they could make it as from the apps, all the business users, they have apps on the Apple system, will be able to have crypto payments through Apple Pay. So I think it is a when, not if it will happen. But I suppose that when everything, they want to wait for the market to be a bit more stable and to be able to bring innovation and to have a product that nobody else has. So we'll see when it happens. But the moment that it does happen, the crypto market will just explode. So there are things like this, things like the ETFs being released in the US. There are lots of things in the pipeline that would multiply the number of people involved and capital involved in crypto, not only once or twice, but tenfold.
Okay, thanks, Stan. Very interesting point there. I'm just going to share my screen, guys.
Yep.
Let's get that done. Here we go. If you don't know where to find Luca's stuff, so I'm going to show you the micro school, etc., etc. It's all in Crypto Investor Club Circle right here. I noticed that Robin just sent a request to join, and I've accepted you into there, Robin. So you've got that. Let me just put belt and braces job. I always put it. Let me put the link to this into the chat. So first step, if you haven't joined the community, please click on that and join Luca's community. You will find the micro school under the degrees tab. You'll find the recordings of previous calls, including this one, in the future under the library, and you'll find future call dates and times in the events page. So that's the community. This is a quick sneak peek at Luca's micro school, which is launching a week on Monday, the 23rd of August, titled How to Profit from Cryptocurrencies. And this is designed to take you from, even if you're a complete novice, all the way through to managing your own cryptocurrency portfolio and take advantage of the crypto adoption wave. Now, I'm speaking for Luca a lot here, but I just want to point out from a user experience, I'm actually on Luca's 12-month done with you program. There's ever such a lot in there. Luca actually gives us an example of a portfolio that we can pick and choose our coins from. But it took me from the stage of knowing nothing all the way up to the stage where I feel like I know a bit and I'm doing all right now. I hope Luca doesn't mind me saying this, but a lot of what we got in that intensive program is actually included here in the micro school. So if you wanted to get everything covered, get yourself up and running in less than 5 days, then this is actually a really ideal and economical way to do it. And what I want to point out is that you can do all this stuff yourself. But before I started working for Luca, the problem was, as so often is, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I didn't realize that I thought I was being smart, but actually my $10,000 was really at risk because I hadn't secured it. And also I put myself in a position where it was getting very stressful for me because I'd got a lot of money on that exchange and I didn't really know what was going to happen from one day to the next when I woke up and had a look at it. So all of that was sorted. And if you want to get that foundation down, that's what this micro school is all about. I'm going to let Luca talk a little bit more about it for a moment before we introduce the competition. Sue's asking me if I work for Luca now. I work for all of our partners.
I wish.
Yeah. Oh, really? You couldn't afford me. I work for all of our partners, and this is our upcoming next partner micro school. So of course I'm duty bound to promote it to you, and it's a fantastic opportunity, guys. So it's not really promotion. It starts with getting everything set up, which you would expect, and preparation, and takes us all the way around how we can start to bag profits, how we can generate cash flow with our coins that we already own. And then the course of this micro degree is going to take, is that we'll have on day 4 a full day to implement everything that Luca's taught us over the first 3 days. And then we're going to come back on Friday and present what we've got, get some final feedback from Luca. And then we'll have a couple of days to resubmit everything, because obviously the best submission, the point here is that you're going to actually win a place on Luca's 12-month done for you course, which is the one that I'm on. So there is a competition in the micro school. So you're not only learning, you're also getting an opportunity to take the next step with Luca for free. If you're the winner, I'm going to hand us straight over to Luca, as I keep saying I'm going to, so he can fill us in on a bit more detail, and then we'll talk about how you can win a place on this wonderful micro school.
Okay, yes, and what you said, I mean, you covered a lot of ground already. What I'm going to do in the micro school is getting people from absolutely zero to becoming confident in dealing with everything you need to deal with to have cryptocurrency and to invest in them. So in how to set up, and this is doesn't just relate to beginners, but also to people that might already started on their own, because you need to make sure that your accounts are set up in the right way. And even if you already have a crypto exchange open, it needs to be set up properly to make sure that it is safe and nobody can get into it. Because this is, remember that with crypto, you are responsible for your own funds. There is no bank, there is nobody protecting you. If once you do something wrong, you lose access to your coins, they're gone. Okay, so setting up things properly is something that is the step that I spend a lot of time with everybody, even people that start with me in the other program and they already have coins, they already invest in crypto. I start from step 1, because so many times I found that investors got tens of thousands of pounds in crypto and they are not safe. Okay, so that is the first step, getting you from zero to setting up your accounts in the best possible way. And then again, we need to go through many things, because some of you maybe have already been involved in trading and you know how to look at a financial chart and what it is, how to place orders, how to buy, how to sell. But for many people, they have never done it. We need to go through that. Make sure that you are confident in using the platforms. So how to buy, how to sell, how to get the data that you need to then report when you need to pay your taxes, because unfortunately we all have to pay taxes. This is no different from anything else. And again, excuse me. And again, everything that you need to know from a technical point of view to then start investing in your portfolio. Then on the third day, then we go into the selection mode. So how to, which coins how to study, how to select coins, what to do once we have got the coins, how to get paid for holding coins, for example, how to stake coins, and if it's something that you're interested in, and we can even look at a more advanced methods of using your crypto funds, and then I will give you, obviously every day you're going to have homework to do, because this is a very practical micro school. So I'm not just going to talk about blockchain and telling you what everything is. This is something that we will touch on very briefly if there are people that are completely new to blockchain, they really don't know what it is. But generally is a practical course to tell you all the technical, to teach you all the technical knowledge you need to have to deal in this. Then I am going to, on the last day, I'm going to leave you with some work to do, and I'm going to give you um, a scheme on how to value the different projects in the crypto world, so you can decide what you want to invest in. And then we're going to have a you're going to put together your own portfolio and present it, submit it to me, and then I will select some portfolios to then present on the presentation day, and then we'll select the winner that will go forward and work with me for the next year, and then you're all set up, and by then you will be confident enough to transfer money from your bank account to your crypto accounts, how to buy, how to sell, how to store your crypto, how to invest it so you can get a cash flow as well as increase in capital by the increase in price in the underlying assets, and how to manage your portfolio as well, because part of it, the last part of this will be how to identify the time when it is time to either take your profits, and there are going to be different profit strategies that will be according to your attitude to risk, because there are conservative profit taking strategy, there are aggressive profit strategies, and anything in between. Okay, so I'll give you a different way of dealing with things according to to how conservative or how aggressive you are, and then you will be ready and confident enough to go out into the world and value projects and invest your your cash and your profits into building a sizable portfolio. So have I covered everything, Duncan?
Yes, absolutely, Luca. Very comprehensive as ever. Thank you. I hope everybody's clear on what this is all about. Guys, there's a couple of long questions come into the chat, which we're just not going to have time to answer today. Please, specifically, can you get your questions in with enough time to answer them? Because Luca wants to give proper answers. He doesn't want to give 2-word answers. So I'll start asking for questions at the start of the call. Please, let's try and get them in with time to answer. There's a really simple question that, well, actually, guys, we're not going to be able to go into them because Luca doesn't answer the question simply. We've only got 8 minutes left. I absolutely have to end this call on the hour, and we still want to tell you about the competition. I've got to go on to the micro school after this. So how do we win a free place on this micro school? Just want to make sure that it's only $470 anyway, and that's a full week. It's 3-day sessions plus an implementation day plus a presentation day, and the sessions are 90 minutes long with a Q&A, etc., etc. Only $470 anyway, so you're getting loads and loads of value. We probably are going to have some sort of voucher for people who are already gems or members or things like that. But first of all, let's talk about how somebody here on this call is going to win a free place. I'm going to give you the link to this form and what Luca would like you to tell him in your own words. And in fact, there's no word limits, but of course he's got to read them all. So let's not go for 5,000 words a question. You've got to curry favor with the judge, haven't you? So you've got to make it easy for him. So the first question is, how do you see cryptocurrencies changing the world? So that's the first question we'd like you to answer. Then we'd like you to tell Luca, why, in your opinion, is it important for everyone to learn about crypto right now? And then finally, what can crypto do for you, and what can you do with crypto in the next 5 years? Fairly open-ended questions, so it's entirely up to you to answer as you wish. One thing I will say is that if you've been paying attention on Crypto Hour over the last couple of weeks, these answers have been pretty much answered for you by Luca. So you should have an idea of what he's looking for. Having said that, I'm sure he's also looking for flair, individuality, and creativity. So feel more than happy to answer them any way you like. It's those 3 questions. Now, Luca, what we didn't discuss was a deadline, because we're going to announce the winner and the runners-up. There are also runner-up prizes, so we'll be looking at that as well. And we're going to announce them next Friday on Crypto Hour. So to win, even if you're the winner, you still have to be on Crypto Hour next week. So get it into your diaries, guys. But Luca, how much time do you need to assess these answers? Are we going to say by close of play on Monday?
I would say you can have until 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, because I'm going to look at it on Thursday. The answer, so the day before the announcement.
Wonderful.
But it's the other thing I wanted to mention is that if you don't know anything about crypto, just do the best you can on the answers. Don't worry. I'm not going to judge you because you don't know. It just I am looking at more or less understanding your frame of mind, so I'm really interested in getting answers, whether you're already into it or whether you're a complete novice. It's really interesting to me how you would answer them.
Thank you. I'm just coming to post the link soon. Thanks for clarifying that, Luca. That was the point I was kind of trying to make myself, but didn't really make it very clear. These are not, there's no right or wrong answers to these questions. It's a matter of your opinion, your outlook, and your vision. So please don't feel that you need to go out and go back to the call recordings and find out what the right answers are. It's not like that at all. So if everybody's ready, I'm going to post the link to the form now. And that's right there. So copy and paste, open as you will. All we're asking you to do is put your name and email address on there again and answer those 3 questions. So to be clear, did we say 9 a.m. Thursday morning?
Yep.
9 a.m.
Correct.
Thursday morning, UK time. So 3 p.m. SGT for anybody else. And that is the competition, guys. We do have runners-up prizes. We also will be discussing the answers and things on Crypto Hour, maybe for the next couple of weeks. So, as Luca said, don't be shy. If you don't feel like you know a lot about cryptos, just let's have your opinions and your visions and your thoughts, and it will give us plenty to go with. Is there anything you'd like to add, Luca?
No, I was saying, especially if you don't know anything about crypto, this is the kind of like a course, for you in particular. So, so don't feel shy about applying.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can back that up. Like I said, I've done Luca's stuff now. It's very comprehensive. It'll get you all set up, and mainly, I think Luca's not mentioned this, and I always try to mention it because it's a really important point. And this is where I've found that Luca's processes and methods differ from a lot of other advisors, guides, mentors, if you like. Really important thing about what Luca does and what's been valuable to me is that thing that Luca says: you can invest in cryptos and you can still sleep at night. And that's made a big difference to me because I'm a kind of frantic star and I am the guy who feels compelled to take his phone to bed and look at it first thing in the morning. And having taken that all away from my life has been an absolute blessing.
Yeah,
so there we go, guys.
Duncan, one thing actually I wanted to mention, just to have it to make it clear to everyone, what I teach is investing, is not trading. Okay, I don't believe that that trading is the best way to go about to make money in crypto. Unless you are already a very experienced trader and have a 6 months plus history of success in trading other markets, please do not get involved in crypto because you will lose your money. Okay, so I teach people to invest on kind of a medium to long term, and you will not be spending hours in front of the charts after doing this course. Okay, you will do your analysis once and then just manage your portfolio. Literally with 2 or 3 hours a month. Okay, this is what I am teaching. Not to buy, sell, and all the things that you see when you see about trading movies and stuff like that. You will not be doing that.
It's not going to be like the Wolf of Wall Street. Oh,
not at all.
I never really wanted to start crawling across the pavement to get back to my hotel room, if I'm honest. Already did a bit of that in my youth. Something else I wanted to make clear, guys. This is really, a commercial message now. If you win the micro school for free and you've already purchased it, we'll give you your money back. So please, I don't want anybody to be thinking, I really want to do this micro school, but I'm going to wait another week to see if I win it. Don't do that at all. Sign up. And if you win, if you're the winner, we're going to give you your money back. If you don't know how to sign up, I gave you the link for the actual micro school, and you can go into there and you can click, and it will take your payment and it will enroll you. You can also find it in the Genius U store, and you will also find it in the product page of Luca's Circle. And finally, if you can't find it and you need any help, just come to me and I'll sort you out. And as I did just put into the chat, Luca and I do have a limited amount of discount vouchers for people who are in our community. When we talk in our community, I mean us lot here on Crypto Hour. So if you're ready to go, if you want to sign up, just give me a shout and I will avail you of the discount voucher. You can get me at duncan@geniusu.com. You know how to find Luca.
Just one thing, Duncan, I don't know if we have said, but the winner must be on the next week's Crypto Hour, okay? Because we will not award a free place to anybody that's not on the call next week.
Absolutely,
okay, so,
yes. I did mention it, but quite quickly, so I maybe didn't make that clear. Get your entries in and definitely please be on Crypto Hour next week. You're going to have a really good excuse if you're not. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, as ever, for all your time, Luca, and your amazing information. Thank you, everybody, and look forward to perusing your competition entries and seeing you all next week for our announcement.
Cheers,
everyone.
Duncan, just at the last, I put my email address there. If anybody wants to discuss and want to talk about it offline, then send me a mail and we'll arrange a call.
Absolutely. Sue did ask this question: is there opportunity to interact with Luca, to chat with Luca on this micro school? And if we haven't made it clear, this is all live, guys. Luca delivers this all live, and he'll do a Q&A at the end of each session so that you're not walking away lacking any knowledge or anything like that. And the final thing I'll say is, Luca says it every week, if you want to have a chat with him, just drop him a line and he'll jump on a call and have a chat with you anyway. So you don't even have to join the micro school to do that. Everybody's always available to you guys, and we value you as part of our community. So thanks, Luca. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you here next week.
Goodbye, everyone.